But I think when it comes to parenting, it's just my kids follow my vision for them until they tell me their vision for them, right? Once you find out your vision, then you're free from my vision. Until you have your vision, you're going to follow my vision.
What's up, everybody? It's Coach Kev. Let me paint this picture for you. You're a parent, and you have a child, and you see the potential in them to become an athlete, Division I, professional, a star, a superstar. You see it brewing in them. How do you handle that situation? Whether it's basketball, football, baseball, soccer, what is the process of getting them to that point of becoming a professional athlete? Do you let that happen naturally? Do you let them grow into it? Do you live vicariously through them because you were once an athlete growing up and you maybe didn't make it to the big level, or maybe you did make it to the highest level and you want them to as well? Or do you just show them the way before they can even understand what choice they want to make? And hopefully by the time they are able to make the choice, they decide to do what you want them to do. I don't have kids. I'm not a parent, but I would definitely want to hear each and every one of your thoughts who are parents on this topic. Here's Mace speaking from his perspective.
Parent. I think all parents should be hands-on. I think that's just the best way to parent. Not to be overbearing, but to definitely have some say-so in what they're doing. But I think when it comes to parenting, it's just my kids follow my vision for them until they tell me their vision for them, right? Once you find out your vision, then you're free from my vision. Until you have your vision, you're going to follow my vision.
So until they have their own vision, they're going to follow his vision. So as a parent, he's deciding where he wants his kids to go. Then once they can become of age to decide for themselves, they make that final decision. What do you guys think about that? That's an interesting way to think about it. Is that forcing your mindset on your kids, or is that just steering them in the right direction or into your direction and then ultimately allowing them to make the final decision on the topic? What are your thoughts on that?
You wake up and say, "No, Dad, I don't really want to do that." Like my son, he's he was like 6'2" playing basketball. I always tell his story. And in the middle of the game, he said, "Dad, I don't want to play basketball." I was thinking, man, I done bought all this stuff, paid all these trainers. You going to play basketball. Because he was like 12 years old, 6'2". I'm thinking, okay, we definitely got a pro. And then he says, "No, Dad, I'm an intellectual." I said, "What's that?" We're in the middle of the game. What's an intellectual?
What is that?
Yo, Mace kid, you gotta make it funny, hilarious. I'm an intellectual, but that's the point. So his son came to a point in his life. He made a decision, ultimately saying, "I don't want to pursue playing basketball." Some parents I know would be like, "No, you got to keep trying, keep going, keep pushing forward. You had the potential. You got to go. You got to stick with it. Other parents, like Mace, may just let them be and be like, "Okay, you choose the path that you want to go down. Is one right? Is one wrong? Are they both right? Are they both?" I mean, you decide. I guess as a parent, it's how you want to bring up your child. But I just don't believe in the mentality of forcing your beliefs, meaning living vicariously through them.
It was a long ride home from the AAU game. But he was right. He says he's an intellectual. Now he's doing phenomenal, and I'm happy about it, So I'm glad you're hands-on until you need to be hands-off.
So that's a great mentality. Like I said, you're hands-on as a parent until you need to be hands-off. I'm not a parent. I don't have kids. I would definitely want to hear everybody's thoughts. Everybody, even if you don't have kids, just your thoughts. But especially if you have kids or have a child, what are your thoughts on parenting when it comes to athletics? When guiding them to playing sports, how do you do it? What is your process of being? Are you like Mace, where you kind of guide them as they're young into mold them, guide them into what you want them to be. And then eventually when it becomes time for them to make the decision, they have the final say? Or do you guide them and they kind of don't have a final say, and by the time they can't even decide by the time they get older, because all they know is basketball, all they know is football, all they know is baseball, whatever the case may be. I don't have kids. I believe that it's tough to say what's right or wrong because everybody parents differently, but I don't think you should force your beliefs like 100% on your kids, especially when they're pushing back, because I think that will make them fall out of love or not respect or not be in depth into the game that you want them to be. Playing the sport is going to be more like a chore to them instead of for the love of the game. I want them to naturally love it. Yes, I love basketball. I also love soccer and stuff like that. If I ever have kids, I will kind of guide them as they're young, the little miniature basketball hoops in the house, things like that, a little soccer net, things like that, you know what I mean? Playing around, just being active and like that. And as they get a little older, get them a trainer if I see the potential and things like that. But if they ultimately say to me that they don't want to participate in this sport, or they don't want to play sports at all, or maybe they say, I want to become this great golfer or tennis player or baseball player, something that I didn't think in my mind, I'm going to just flip, change paths, and I'm going to try my best to guide them down that path that they want to go. Like I said, let me know all your thoughts about this when it comes to parenting, kids, athletics, sports. How do you treat the entire process, and how do you ultimately see it going down? Till next time, this is Coach Kev, and I'm out of here. Peace.